Welcome, marvelous makers,
and art appreciators,
to the ArtSpace podcast,
brought to you by Lemon Street Gallery and ArtSpace,
located at 4601 Sheridan Road.
Skip on in to your favorite citrus-themed art gallery at the next possible moment and say hi to us and buy some art.
Yes, and I'm your host, Shelby Nesmith.
And I'm Jake Hoy.
And today, it's just us.
Just us again.
Woo-woo!
We didn't get any feedback on the last Just Us. I'm not sure. Did we?
Only feedback that I got was Joe Gorzelski said she loved it.
We're going to have one happy customer and a bunch of other mysterious reactions.
Yes,
Mystery customers.
Some unknown feelings.
But that's okay because we did have a cancellation last minute today.
It happens.
So that's okay. And so we're doing a Just Us.
Yeah, subbing in and having some fun. Having a couple drinks, being chill.
That is the tradition now for a Just Us. I have my own drink this time. Last time it was just Shelby with a glass of wine. But I'm partaking as well. I have a Bevy long drink, which is something I'd never heard of before.
Yeah. Where was it from?
Finland.
Finland.
It's a Finnish thing. The side of the can has all the details. Should I read the side of the can?
No,
I'll skip that. But
no, you shouldn't.
Google it. It's interesting. It's pretty good. Mine
Yeah.
is lemon lime flavored.
Ooh, and I'm drinking some really, really old Moscato.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
probably from the last time.
Yeah.
No, you had a red wine last time.
No, I had a white.
Really?
I only drink white wine.
Then it's definitely the last one.
Yeah, last time, same bottle. Man, we gotta throw that away. Or
Not improving.
Yeah, or I could kill it tonight. Who knows?
Oh geez.
Turn up. It might be that kind of night.
We shall see. We shall
Yes.
see. So, how have you been, Shelby?
Oh, I have been, and I can't say the details of how I have been, but I have been.
But you're hanging in there.
Oh yes, definitely.
We just recorded the K-Town Connects podcast.
Yes.
Well, that was last week. Came out last week as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a fun time with Donnie and Jason.
Don't know if you heard that.
We just had a car go by with some awesome tunes blaring.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sounded like some 90s boy band stuff.
yeah, it was very, very much that kind of
It sounded like Aaron
crooning.
Carter. It was just, what? What are?
We're leaving that in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we recorded the K-Town Connects podcast. Thank you to Donnie and Jason for that.
Thank you.
We loved our time on there. And
Yeah, I got to get to know me a little bit more.
yeah, Shelby was featured because I've already been on it. So
Yeah, get to know how the podcast started and
what did you think of their podcast? Let's hear the hot takes. We'll find out if Donnie and Jason actually listen to our podcast.
I like how their segments are kind of broken up.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fast paced. I understand why their stuff is a little more fast paced and why our pacing is a little slower, because we really want to get to the nitty gritty of what inspires and
Yeah.
really get in depth on processes and stuff, where theirs is let's keep it light and moving.
Yeah, it's a very funny podcast. I always laugh every time I listen to their
Yes.
podcast. And yeah, I'm not trying to say ours is better or theirs is worse, but I mean, come on. No, I'm kidding. We love you guys.
Yes, love you guys. But yeah, I definitely see where ours differ, and yeah, love it.
It
More
was
local podcasts.
Yeah, we've had Jason on already, and Donnie made a slight appearance on the Art Market episode. Blink and you'll miss him.
Yes.
But,
I interrupted him because a cute little dog in a stroller was there. Oh my gosh.
I remember that.
Just oh.
Go back and listen to that episode.
Yes. He's just like a little old dog with his tongue hanging out in a little stroller. He's just so cute. I could still picture the little bean in the stroller.
We have one more Art Market this season.
Yes, speaking of that.
October 16th, I think.
Oh, God.
We actually mentioned it on the K-Town Connects podcast.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned it in
Yes,
the
the 16th.
last one too.
Yeah, probably. We mention it all the time.
Yes.
The listeners are probably sick of hearing about it.
No, they love it. They support
Well,
it.
before we know it, it's going to be gone. Actually, depending on when this comes out,
I think it's already done.
I think it might already be done. Wait. Calendar math. No, this is the 14th when this is coming out. So it is this weekend.
Wow, wow, wow. Get your butts out there. I better see all of you out there.
And if you're not hearing this in time, what's the real problem with you? You're not
Yeah.
listening day of the episode drops? Come
You
on.
don't have notifications set up?
Do it.
Us bullying our audience.
No, you don't have to.
We love you.
Just please listen.
Yes.
And if you don't listen, at least download it.
Yeah, throw us a bone.
Although, come
yeah.
on, we're gonna keep recording.
Oh, yeah.
it's
We
not
love this.
Yeah, we can't do an ultimatum.
Yeah, no. We are so in love with this podcast and what it's providing to the community. The amount of people that we're meeting and supporting through this process, I've been enjoying it ever since we started.
It's truly amazing. Like
Yeah.
we're through 25-ish episodes. This is episode 26 that's coming out. And that's 25, well, 24 because we had to adjust us in there.
Yeah.
24 artists that we've spoken with, and a wide variety of media. Yeah. Plural is a thing.
Yeah.
And just the way they work and inspirations and motivations and all that. So it's fun to hear the differences and the similarities, because there's a lot of similarities too.
Oh, yeah. A lot of recurring themes with our artists. So, yeah, it's been fun learning. There's so many aspects to being an artist and perspectives that I would have never considered unless you were out there talking with people. So it's even widening the artist's horizons. So, yeah, very, very cool.
And it's always fun to me when I hear of people that listen to our episodes and learn something, or feel more connected with the art community. It's kind of what we're going for. So yeah, it's a blast.
It's fun. I enjoy this. So
yeah, so we're just having a good time here tonight. We might do
Yes.
some trivia in the back half. We'll
Yes.
tease that now up front.
some art trivia.
Yeah, we're rolling around that idea. And also Shelby has informed me that she has I believe you characterized it as a recent art obsession, maybe.
Oh gosh, yes.
So that's going to be another topic. You want to just roll into that now?
Sure, we could talk about
Tell
that.
me about your recent art obsession.
So I used to listen to a lot of like murder podcasts and stuff, and then I realized how much it was impacting me and my mental health and hearing all these things. So I was like, let me take a step back and maybe try and find a podcast of stuff that I'm passionate about and that I want to surround myself with. And I was like, you know what? Art. I love art.
There you go.
Let's jam more art into my life. I don't know if that's even
somehow possible.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible, but jam more in there. So I was looking up different type of like art podcasts, and I'm like, we're in the field too of art podcasts.
Yeah, so this is almost like competition research.
Yeah, I was just looking and see what's available, see if there's holes that need to be filled. And I stumbled onto this podcast called the Art Holes Podcast.
The Art Holes Podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the dude who does the podcast, his name's Michael, and he says he's uncertified to talk about art. He knows nothing about art.
Just like me.
Yeah, he's an art appreciator,
Okay.
and he could basically point out very basic art throughout art history, like, oh, I know that's Jackson Pollock. I know it's got a weird face. It's probably a Picasso.
Okay.
So he's going through art history and breaking down different artists and their lives and everything like that.
Oh, I love this.
So and he puts like funny sound bits in between. He'll play music to kind of get you in the scene of like, oh, we're going to Italy. So he's playing like Italian music and everything.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza
Yes.
pie.
Well, not exactly on the nose like that, but
I've had 1/4 of a seltzer and I'm already
oh
singing.
goodness.
No, I'm kidding.
But I've just been listening to his podcast because it started out with like a duo, and the other co-host couldn't continue doing it. His schedule got busy. And so it's just this guy telling you about the lives of artists. And I made it through the Picasso episode and the Jackson Pollock episode. I know too much about Jackson Pollock, and I want to share it with like everyone.
Because of this podcast, you now know too much.
Yes.
Okay.
I know too much about this.
I'm sure you knew
man.
some going in.
Oh yeah, I knew a little bit, but he goes into like the history of the parents' upbringing, because
I love that.
that trauma then translate through their parenting techniques and then onto the child.
Wow.
So he really does a lot of research.
Before you launch into your mind full of Jackson Pollock minutia, we can tease an upcoming episode is somebody who is very inspired by Jackson Pollock, we'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so haven't recorded it yet, but if all goes according to plan,
Yes.
in the next upcoming weeks you will hear this. So just a quick teaser there. So.
Yes. Look out for that.
But yeah, lay it on me. What's up with Jackson? Did his friends call him Jack?
No.
Son?
No.
What up, son? No.
No.
Just Jackson.
Jackson or
Mr. Pollock.
Yeah, when he became famous, a lot of people called him Pollock, or he
like
requested
Pollock.
to be called Pollock.
That's a fish, right?
I think so.
Pollock.
Pollock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds a lot like Pollard. Like
Sounds
Pollard
like
Gallery.
a lot like Isley Poltrick,
Yeah.
which was a Missy.
Shout out Missy.
I guess that's a stretch, but shout out to Missy. But back on track.
Yes.
Jackson Pollock, he's just a piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A piece of quack, you say?
Yes, a piece of quack. I mean, being an American artist and everything in the 30s,
I want to say I've heard this.
he's big. He's a big old turd.
Big baddie?
Yeah, big. He drank a lot.
Okay, that doesn't help.
Alcoholism,
say as I
sexual
drink
assault, domestic abuse. So he was just not a good
Yikes,
person.
I didn't know about all the really
Yeah.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
I think I just heard him like he was like rude and like a jerk, but
No, he would.
that transcends jerk.
Yeah, he would defile churches. He'd get drunk and
Oh, come on.
yeah, there was one incident where when he was younger, he destroyed the inside of a church because he was drunk and shit.
Holy moly.
So, yeah, and a lot of stuff, and basically describing his work of how he went about it. He was painting the air above the canvas, so it wasn't just random splatters. He had visual migraines, so he would see these images and he would paint the air above the canvas, and whatever dripped was a result of him painting with a stick.
Did he have his canvases flat on the ground?
Yep, he had his
Okay.
canvases on the ground, and they'd be larger, like really, really large canvases, like 8 feet.
Yeah.
huge,
I've
yeah.
seen like photos, I think.
Yeah, he does really big stuff. So he reached a point where he was painting on the ground, doing the drip technique and everything. And just it's really crazy. They found that his art, like diving into his art and how it's visually appealing, is because there's a certain level of fractals in his work.
Okay.
So with the fractals, a fractal is basically just a repeating pattern that makes up a similar pattern. So it'd be small squiggles in the same motion that would make up the big squiggle
Big squig.
that was in that same motion.
Okay.
So there's a layering that was developed. And we humans, we like patterns. So that's what made his work so visually appealing, was his use of patterns and fractals.
A lot of people say fractals are like the language of the universe or something. Like everything is really a fractal when you get down to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have examples, but
It's crazy. It's like, and Michael went on to detail in his podcast about this and stuff, and it just really fascinated me of how, because he did this fractal thing before fractals were even discovered and aware of.
yeah, he was what,
Made
like
aware of.
50s, 40s?
Yes, I know he died. He was in his 40s when he died.
No, I meant like the decades that he was active.
Yes, so
But it can be both.
50s. Yeah, I think it was 50s when he kind of reached his peak. But he died in his I think it was mid 40s when he died. if I
Oh,
remember.
wow. I picture him as like a older guy. Like,
Nope, he really
not like super old, but like I picture him as like a 55-year-old.
he drank a lot,
Okay,
so he
well,
looked
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
um
Don't drink a lot, kids.
that man was swollen and on medications, and so yeah, he looked very, very rough for his age.
Man.
But yeah, and he died in a drunk driving incident, and
Oh boy.
he unfortunately took someone else's life in the
Oh my
process.
gosh. I
So
didn't know that.
don't want to bring it down. I just have all this knowledge in my brain.
That's a downer.
Yeah.
No, well, but you know.
Sorry to be a downer, but yeah, Jackson Pollock, really interesting stuff. There was even a point where he was drunk. He was drunk and he liked to pee on stuff a lot. Yeah.
I got a story about that.
Oh goodness.
Not me.
No,
Oh boy. I think it's safe for me to tell this story.
Sure,
I don't
do
know
it.
this person. It's been 10 years since I've talked to this person. My freshman year of college, I had a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the University of Oklahoma. Won't name any names just in case. But my roommate,
Docs them, full address and everything.
I wouldn't even know. I remember his first name, but he was a bit of a frat boy. The first time we like got each other's emails that were like, oh, we're gonna be roommates. It was like a random thing because I went to school 900 miles away. I didn't know anybody, and first email that we like sent each other emails, and the first thing I say, hi, I'm Jake. I'm going to school for meteorology. I'm from Wisconsin. Blah blah blah. He's like, okay, yeah, cool, man. What house you rushing? And I'm like, I had to Google what like rushing
What
meant.
is rush?
House?
Yeah.
Oh, he means like frats. This is like Animal House. This is like my only like I had not given any thought of it. Spoiler alert, none. I didn't rush anything. I didn't do anything with any frats ever.
Good job.
And I think because of my experience with him, I didn't. I really didn't want to do that. And
Ooh.
now have a sort of negative view of him.
Ooh.
But we'll save that for another time. But no, he he would come home inebriated quite often, and should I just launch into the full version of
Go.
the story?
Yep.
Okay.
You could do it.
One time I got up in the morning to use the bathroom and I stepped in a puddle and I'm like, oh man, we spilled water last night or something. Did Blake? My roommate was so drunk that he spilled water, and I cleaned it up, and then a couple weeks later, I stayed up late because there was a hurricane making landfall in Texas. I'm not kidding.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
So I
Oh
stayed
boy!
up till 3 a.m. to watch the hurricane make landfall. And he got home, passed out, and then around like 2 a.m. he gets up and he starts walking. We had a bathroom that we split with our suite mates, and in order to keep them from coming in to our dorm, they had like a little chain lock that we could put in so they couldn't like walk into our dorm. Well, that was too much for him. He couldn't figure out how to undo that chain in his drunken state and get into the bathroom.
Oh no!
And he just went right there in the corner. And yeah, that happened probably 5 or 6 times that semester.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And
That hallways.
yeah, one time on my rug that I had bought, one time, the funny one though, is they had like a theme party. They had a name for him. I don't remember.
No.
But they had a theme party, and the theme was like Old West. So he was like dressed up like a cowboy, and he had cowboy boots, and he tucked his jeans into his boots, got really drunk, came home, passed out. The whole thing played over again. But this time he like couldn't undo his belt buckle or something, and he just peed right down, and they all landed in his boots. So his boots were drenched the next morning, and I'm like trying really hard not to laugh. Yeah.
There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah, there's something else in your boot, my friend. And it
God.
wasn't me, trust me. One time he went to the wrong corner of the room, and that was where the air conditioner was. Yeah, I'll end the story there. We might need to cut this out. This might be too gross.
No, keep going. I love it.
I'm going to end it there. But yeah, so I'm have some experience with
Drunk peers.
drunken urination.
His was for a whole different reason, but we're not going to get
Oh,
into
he was
that.
like purposefully doing this?
Well, no, he was drunk, and it was an act of like dominance and stuff. So you'd be at like parties, and
Yikes.
you'd just whip it out and pee like into a fireplace.
Oh,
and,
man.
Yeah. So
Not cool. Don't do that, people.
yeah, some information on these people that we some form idolize. Sometimes you got to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah,
and,
it's a fine line, you know.
I mean, what he's done was definitely a big step for the art community and where the direction of art was heading at that time. Yes, he did help make big strides in that and everything like that, but that doesn't mean that we need to idolize the person behind it. And
Right.
the awful things that they've done.
Yeah.
So.
We need to be held accountable for
Yes.
our actions.
So, but I mean, if he was just going around pissing in cowboy boots, I'd like him more.
I guess it is slightly more desirable than aggressive urination.
Oh man, I tucked my pants into my shoe. Ay.
After the 8th time, it was not funny anymore.
Oh, I imagine. Oh my goodness. And I can't believe you put up. It sounds like you put up with it for a while.
I did.
Goodness.
I was, believe it or not, I was even more passive back then, and quiet and introverted.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Aw.
I love the fact that he was gone all the time.
Oh yeah.
That was great. 'Cause then I could be alone in my dorm.
Watching weather.
Yeah, watching Hurricane Ike make landfall. I think it was Ike. I don't know.
Either way.
Anyway,
The craziness of college. The random things that have happened. My significant other probably doesn't want me to talk about this, but speaking of like funny drunken stories, there was a time where this is probably the most drunk he's ever been. Alex, he was at our house having parties like we would in college, like I talked on the ArtSpace podcast, because we had so many places that people could crash in the house that it was just the party house.
this is the Antioch house.
No, this is when we lived in Kenosha.
Okay.
So we had a house in Kenosha for a
We
little.
last Just Us episode, we heard all about your Antioch pig
Yes.
roasts and those kind of parties. So
Yeah.
I didn't think we got into the Kenosha house parties.
Kenosha college house parties. Woo! So we had a backyard with a fire pit and like hammocks and stuff and little swinging chairs. So Alex got so drunk one night. He's gonna be mad that I'm telling this, or maybe not. I don't care.
We might cut it out.
Yeah. Who knows? But he got so drunk that night, and I think it was like Bacardi that day, because we would always switch whenever we'd party of like, oh, let's go for a different one. Like I told the story of the Ciroc and
Yes.
the K-Town Connects podcast, but this was, I believe, Bacardi, and he was just so drunk. He was sitting in a chair across from me, and I'm sitting in a swinging hammock chair, and I'm just chilling, listening to music. There's a campfire, and he just stands up, projectile vomits into the fire pit,
Ooh, no, that's a bad place to do that.
and then
I
just
can't even imagine the smells.
It was bad.
Oh,
But he just sits down, acts like nothing just
play
happened.
cool,
Oh my
play
god,
cool.
yeah. He
Nobody
just
noticed.
sat back in his chair and was like, all
Oh
right.
man, who just puked in the fire?
Yeah.
Was that random guy that ran through?
And it was just so funny because we had I had 3 other friends over, and they just look and they're like, did he really just do that? Like, what the hell?
Oh no.
And he's just like sitting there like, yeah, everything's going good. Both hands just attached to that chair. And just like nothing happened.
Oh no.
But it was like so, now that I look back at it, I'm like, that was just so punk rock of him to just stand up and sit. And, what, guys? I'm just sitting here having fun.
This is normal.
Yeah.
This happens here,
Yes.
guys. Buckle up.
So, yeah, that was a fun, interesting moment.
But
Party moment.
just a quick note, your Ciroc story you referenced earlier, that is a Patreon exclusive over on K-Town Connect, so you would have to subscribe to their Patreon in order to hear that and all the other juicy stuff. So you're welcome, Donnie. There's a free plug. And Jason.
Woohoo. So, but yeah, crazy wildness. But
My college was not crazy and wild. I was
mean,
surrounded by
Oklahoma.
crazy and wild, but I myself wasn't doing any of that. I was very, very tame and quiet and stayed home most of the time. I wish I could say stayed home and studied, but no. Watch TV and
You
like,
crocheted.
I did a lot of crocheting. Yes,
Oh,
that is true.
Good.
But more now than ever before.
Just going at it.
I've been
Your
crocheting
stomach?
a lot lately. All hats still, like as mentioned in the Brenna episode.
Mm-hmm.
But that is my oeuvre. Is that the right term? If I say a word and then immediately laugh at it, it's probably not a good word to use. But I think that means like my area of work, right? My oeuvre.
You're talking
My bailiwick. I love big old words that nobody uses anymore. But I think both of those kind of mean like your area of expertise.
Bruh, I use the most casual language ever.
Bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
Once in a while back in college, I used to like pick a big word like bailiwick or something and be like, okay, my challenge is I got to use it 3 times this week and not get noticed. That's the hard part. I mean, you just say, yeah, I could go to Wendy's, but McDonald's is more my bailiwick.
No,
and
gosh.
your friends are like, huh? And it's like, dang, that doesn't count. Got to try again tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I did for entertainment instead of drunken frat parties.
No. Well, one of those words for me, which I think it should be more of a common word, is yonic.
I don't know this one.
So people really know the term for phallic,
Oh, yeah.
and yonic is
Oh,
things that
that's
look.
the lady version.
Yeah,
Lady
version.
phallic.
Yes, lady phallic.
I see.
So people always are so.
How's it spelled?
I am.
Approximately. Is it a Y?
You're asking the wrong.
Okay, Google it, folks.
Yes, yonic.
We are not looking at our phones until trivia starts.
Yes.
It's an honor system. So
But I think more people should be aware of that because people, when describing things,
like Georgia O'Keeffe,
yeah, very
Right.
yonic work.
which I spelled incorrectly on the trivia section of the K-Town Connects podcast.
I panicked.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. We won the game.
Yes.
We won the game. We were going up against Donnie.
Victory.
And Jason gave us mostly easy ones, but we
Yeah.
missed the second F in Keefe. Who knows? There were 2 Fs
Yeah,
as
2
well
Fs,
as 2 E's and an apostrophe. We got that.
Yes, we got that one right, but my goodness.
We're going to end up like talking about everything we talked about on that podcast. People won't even have to go listen.
Yes.
But do it anyway.
A review podcast of our other podcast.
They do a great job over there.
Yes. Shout out to you guys.
I'm emulating Donnie right now, who is known for being very suck up.
Ah.
I learned from the best.
Aw. Well, cute. And I say aw a lot.
Aw.
So aw.
I was worried I offended you when I mentioned that.
No.
That's Shelby's. Oh, well, aw.
Aw. Thanks. Aw.
I thought of another one the other day.
Don't make me cry on this
Okay, never mind.
podcast.
We'll save that for just us 3. So, anyways,
But we will get back into the shenanigans when we come back from this break.
yes. Welcome back to the ArtSpace podcast.
Woohoo.
You're here with Shelby and I.
Yeah.
Just us. That's what we call these episodes, the Just Us episodes. I don't know how we landed on that, but now it is tradition, so we must continue with that.
Because it's just us.
It is just us. I mean, there were some people in the gallery earlier, though,
Yeah.
but they didn't stick around.
Yeah, they're not on the podcast. It's just us.
Maybe they will be someday
Oh.
as art appreciators, because they were
Yes.
appreciating this art, this wonderful art that surrounds us.
Yeah, and they're taking a ceramics class, so maybe they'll be marvelous makers as
They're
well.
well on the way, so
Yes.
look for that. I don't know their names, but
Hey, shout out. Good on you for taking an art class.
yeah, we want more of that.
We'd love to see that.
You people listening at home can do the same.
Yeah.
Go to lemonstreetgallery.org.
Org,
Yes.
yes.
And check and see what classes we got coming up. There's always something.
Yeah. And we're always looking to expand our classes. So if you ever want to
Yeah.
throw out an idea, like, I know we're looking for a mosaic instructor. So if you know a mosaic instructor,
Say something. you
yeah,
know.
throw
If
them
you-
our way.
If you are a marvelous maker, come and make marvelously.
Yeah, pitch a class. We'll hear you out. We will.
Teach a man to fish. Teach a man to make. Teach any person, regardless of gender,
Yeah.
to make. And I forget how that saying goes. Give a man, give
A
a
man
person,
to fish and he'll eat for a day.
Hey, teach a man to fish.
He'll never be hungry.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for art. There you go. Why bother? You know what I'm going for.
I don't know if we do, Jake.
That is not going to become Rising Tide Lifts All Shit.
No,
That
no.
is not. We'll throw that one out.
Scrapping that one instantly. Please do not attempt again.
Sounded good in my head.
Oh, goodness. And what sounds good in my head is just letting people know that I am making again. And
Yes, we need it. Yeah.
I'm having a show in July at the Brick Gallery. at Lemon Street here.
Yeah, here, where we are literally sitting as we speak.
Yes, chit-chatting. So
Boy,
yeah.
July sounds like a long time away.
Oh, it is.
But maybe now for you it isn't,
No.
because you have a deadline.
Yes.
We know from our past guests how much of a motivator a deadline can be.
Oh, yes. I am motivated. Shout out to Alex, my significant other, for purchasing me a small press. So I have access to a press now.
Ooh.
So I'll probably be making a lot more and casually making. So yeah, I'm going to be a Lemon Street artist here now.
Speaking of lemon and press, can you make like fruit juice with that press?
No.
Like in theory, like if you really, really had to?
Probably.
Could you shove an orange in there and give it a press?
Probably.
But you're not about to.
No.
Or did I just give you an idea for a new project? No. Okay.
No, but I mean, maybe that could be cool for a mono
You don't
print.
have to. You don't have to humor me.
No,
You
I'm
can
saying
just tell
you
me I'm
can
dumb.
do it with a mono print, and if you had like a board to sandwich it and roll it under, you could ink the front of
Okay.
a lemon,
You know, they got like kind of a dimple pattern thing going on.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting texture.
cut it in half, and just get
Oh.
the slice that way.
There you go. Then you
So-
got juice.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you want when you're pressing.
Yeah.
A
If
different
you want,
kind of press.
yeah, if you want some lemonade, but no, you can't
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
shove it in a printing press.
That one was much better than the last axiom I said. So
Sure.
maybe that's a keeper. We'll see.
Sure.
Time will tell.
But yes, when life gives you lemons, shove them in a printing press and hope for artwork to come out.
Or lemonade.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, you get some lemonade. So do you have any ideas for your show?
I have the whole show planned out.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, I am crazy that way. I have
How long did you like have it planned out before you even like said yes, I'll do it, or like the night after?
I did take some time to plan it out after I was asked. Once I did my large press or my large print that I did at the steamrolled event, it was Venus coming out of a Venus flytrap, and I kind of continued the theme of that. It's going to be really interesting. It's the merging of classical art that we know it, kind of merging that with the undesirable things like praying mantises and snails and toads. So
Are those undesirable?
yeah, they're classified as an undesirable. Like they're gross. They're
Okay.
Yeah. They're not really highly looked upon.
Was toads one of them that you said?
Yeah, a toad.
I think a lot of people like well, maybe like they like frogs more than toads.
Yeah.
Frogs are the sexier version of toads, right?
I'll quote you on that one.
I don't mean like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yes.
But
The bumps can be a turnoff for some
yeah,
people.
you think of toads, you think of warts. Is it that toads are dry and frogs are like in wet conditions? Is that a difference?
I don't know. I think they're both amphibious. So
Yeah. But I feel like toads I associate with like drier conditions, and toads are wet. They're
I don't know.
slick.
I wish Alex was here on this podcast. He'd answer that
Oh
for you
man,
right
he's
away.
jumping up and down at home trying to
Yeah.
answer.
Flailing his arms like a little baby, like, ooh, I know.
Still mad that you told the puke story.
Yes. Love you. But
So yeah, you got undesirable things mixed with classical.
yes, so classic beauty combined with undesirable animals and kind of aspects of people, and yeah, kind of playing off of that.
I just had an idea pop in my head for a topic of conversation. I hope I'm
Shoot.
not derailing you.
Go.
Anything
Shoot.
else before I move on?
No,
Okay.
go.
I just saw a video today on YouTube about AI art.
Oh,
Have you heard
yes.
of this at all?
Yes, I have.
I wanted to get your opinions on this. What do you think? AI art. Maybe we should tell people at home just basically what it is.
Yeah.
AI stands for artificial intelligence. And there are these computer programs that you can like
Generate art.
enter a prompt into and it will create an image basically, right?
Yeah.
And people, I mean, it's up for debate what art is, but an image is usually one of the qualifications for art, you know, something to look at, right?
That's
So-
an image. It's art.
These can be considered AI art. So,
Yes. I'm not too worried about it myself as traditional art and everything. There's a certain touch and feeling and everything that you can really convey with handmade things. Like especially with printmaking, so many textures you can build up. Ceramics, endless amount of textures you can work with, and techniques. I'm from my perspective and what mediums I work with, I'm not really worried about like, oh, AI art's gonna take over like the artist jobs and stuff.
So that's one perspective. You're not worried that it's going to be a threat, but are you excited about its possibilities at all, or does it just seem like something you just don't want anything to do with?
I'm kind of excited for it because you can help formulate your ideas by typing in some general themes that you're looking into.
Yeah.
Like when I was creating the show in July and sitting there and thinking, it's like, what do I want to say? And I pulled different aspects and like, oh, I want to work with like abstract backgrounds and physical negative spaces. And so it could be a jumping point to formalizing your ideas and everything. Seeing kind of like a rough draft kind of generated before your eyes, I feel like it could be a helpful tool in that sense.
Like as an inspiration.
Yes. So it's definitely a jumping board to your finalized idea, I feel. People who kind of have AI art as a standalone, I think it's still a valid form of artwork because like it was generated, people created these programs and everything to have this end result. So I still think it's a valid art form and it can deserve its own category because
definitely would have to be at its own category.
Yes, definitely. But I see it as a tool at this point.
Yeah.
It's a tool and it'll help me get to my end goal. It's kind of just how I look at it.
Interesting. Okay. I would say from my perspective, I wouldn't say I'm excited about it or, completely on board, but I am interested. Before I actually looked at the actual images that people have created, debatably whether or not they created them, that people have presented as art, we'll say, I was like, no, that sounds dumb. That sounds like a new thing. It's not going to, but then I saw some of them and I'm like, some of these things are really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the limitations and the ability to think from outside the box. Like you can like, I've just been told based on this video I saw that you can like put a word in, but then like say like opposite of that. And it's interesting. Like you would say like a person's name, like if I put in Shelby, the opposite of that. Like, what is the opposite? What? It's not like a dead person, but what is the opposite of
of Shelby? Yeah.
But a computer program will distinctly land on an answer and say, "This is it," because that's what a computer would have to do. Is this? It can't waffle about, like a person would, and it'll put out like a picture of a skyline or something like and it's weird. It's just interesting.
Oh, definitely, and I think having a non-humanistic, like we get in our own way a lot of times as humans and overthinking and everything like that. So again, as a tool, it can really be helpful to just kind of take out that overthinking and just kind of just slice it and give me kind of more of an objective output and everything, be more formulaic with it. And because we do get, as artists, we get in our own way a lot. So, it's just a really helpful tool.
Yeah. But interesting.
I think it's cool.
I pretty much just learned about it today.
Oh, well, cool. I being in the art world and everything, I'm about the past month. It's been a big talk.
It has. Okay.
So, but yeah, we would like to know your perspective in the comments below. What do you think about AI art?
You can comment on the Facebook post, the Instagram post, go over to YouTube and leave a comment. There's lots of places for you to leave feedback.
Yeah, we want to know what you think about AI art because I think it's cool. It's a tool.
I don't think it's going away.
Yeah, definitely not going away.
We'll see.
So,
but anyways.
We're going to launch right into trivia.
Oh, is it trivia time?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, should we start with, we have categories here that we can choose from.
Ooh, what categories?
Art history trivia, easy art trivia,
easy art trivia.
famous art trivia, art trivia for kids, Hard art trivia.
I vote art trivia for kids. No,
Okay, is that easier than easy?
I don't know. Let's do the easy art
Okay, well,
trivia.
let me scroll down here because it starts with art history. Oh, I think I missed it.
Oh no.
Okay, easy art trivia, and it hides the answers, so I can't see the answers here, just so you know at home, folks. All right, Shelby, your first question. In which city and country is the Louvre Art Museum located?
I know it's in France. I feel dumb now. That's just what this trivia is gonna.
What city and country?
City and well, it's in France.
Yeah, what? Name a city in France.
Paris, France.
Boom.
Sure.
And
Okay.
correct. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh
ding.
gosh, it's that easy.
Paris, France.
Oh my God! Remember when I said that artists overthink everything? Yeah.
You got it.
Oh goodness, this.
Now, we should say full disclosure that I am like a big trivia. I love trivia. Like, it's fun for me. So this was my idea. So thank you for humoring me, Shelby.
You're
Anybody
all
that knows me
good.
knows I'm always like, whenever there's a lull in conversation, I'm like, want to do trivia? We can do trivia. That'd be fun.
Just throw out
right?
some random facts.
I think it's from my like inherent desire to prove my worth.
Aw,
I don't know. Anyways, we'll save that for another time.
So who painted the Mona Lisa?
This one I know. I didn't look at the answer, but I looked at the question before I handed it over to Shelby. And this is Leonardo da Vinci.
Aw, yeah. That one was easy.
That was pretty easy. You would have gotten that.
I overthought the Louvre one a little too much.
I'm like, just name a city. You'll probably be right.
Because it was like
You'd
my
be like,
worst.
Lyon, Marseille.
My worst thing is like geography too.
Oh, geography is my favorite.
Geography, spelling, and math.
Yeah.
Absolutely worst.
Math,
What am I good at?
Art.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, you ready for your question, which you probably already looked at?
Yes.
Salvador Dali is associated with which art movement?
Surrealism.
Oh, I think I would have gotten this wrong. You're right, surrealism.
Surrealism, yes. So the start of, just a little background information, the start of the surrealist movement actually came from the Dadaist.
Dada.
Dada,
I've heard of that, yeah.
Dada.
Is that Duchamp?
Marcel Duchamp, I think he was kind of in the Dadaist because that was the ready-made era.
Okay.
Like,
That was the name that popped in. That was my like trivia answers. When you hear a term, you think of like a name that's associated with that, and that's the first thing that came to my head.
yeah, so he was involved with the ready-mades, which was kind of like a subsect within Dadaist, I believe. And so ready-mades were basically turning already made objects into art forms, like he did with the urinal and everything.
Yeah, that's the.
So, yeah.
Did he do the pipe thing? Was that him?
No, he was not the pipe.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yes.
This is not a pipe.
Yeah, in French.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Je suis something.
Yeah, some.
Okay.
Either way. So the Surrealist movement formed out of the Dada movement because the lead person of the Dada movement also was a writer and wrote reviews in papers, and he was talking with someone about a play, and someone mentioned, oh, that play was so it was realism, and he contradicted the statement by saying like, oh no, it was surrealism.
Ooh.
And that kind of coined the word and then formed into surrealism. So
You know what I think of when I think of surrealism?
what?
There was this like reality show on, I think it was VH1,
Okay.
and it was like a pun on the real world or something, but they called it the
Surreal.
surreal, but I think it was surreal life or something like that. I don't know, but it was like it had like celebrities. I think I don't even remember it very well. I just remember the name.
Oh,
so when I think of surrealism, I think of the surreal life.
Love that. Okay. So next question.
I did not look at this one, so I don't know it.
I'm reading it right now. Which period has a French name that translates to rebirth in English?
Okay. I was really worried I was not going to get it for most of that question, and then I heard rebirth. I'm going to go Renaissance.
Yes, it is the Renaissance.
The Renaissance, Michelangelo, etc.
Etc.
Oh, we got a lot more. Do we want to stick with this category?
Sure, let's keep rolling.
They have 10 questions in each category.
Okay. Get them.
This kind of is more, well, We'll try it. We'll try it.
Keep going, keep going.
Who designed the Guggenheim Museum?
I know Peggy Guggenheim was in charge of the Guggenheim. So I don't know if she designed it or she did it.
I haven't clicked show to answer
Oh,
yet, but I
no.
think I know the answer to this one, and I don't think it's...
I know she runs it. Peggy Guggenheim.
Well, she's probably the sponsor or something, or the family, I'm
She's
sure.
the money behind it, probably.
The joke with this is, if you're a fan of Seinfeld, George Costanza on the show would always be like, he always wanted to pretend he was an architect. He would like lie and say, I'm an architect. And they'd be like, oh, do you do anything I know? And he goes, you know, the Guggenheim?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that was me. And it's like, nope,
Oh, no.
because it was a very famous architect who did it.
Oh, no.
You want to know the answer?
Sure.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Ah, fuck that guy.
Whoa. Quack? No, we don't want to quack that guy.
Yes, he was an awful
you don't-
person.
Oh, boy, we're getting back into awful?
Oh, yeah, he was.
I know he didn't kill his wife. Somebody killed his wife while he was gone, and then his house burned down out in
I can't remember.
Sun Prairie, Taliesin.
I just know he was very racist.
Oh, well,
and
yeah, like they all were back.
yeah, I'm just.
Oh,
His
you want to
art-
be infuriated? Look up Henry Ford one
Oh,
time. Oh my goodness,
No.
trash.
But I don't. Sometimes I understand his designs, especially a lot of his stained glass, but some of his furniture and architecture, it's just like, this is not. We can't use this. Like, our bodies cannot
Oh yeah.
fit in these chairs that you've designed.
More aesthetic than
Yeah.
utilitarian.
And I understand that, but it's just like, I want to sit in this thing, in this chair that you made as a chair.
I think the only reason I'm inclined to like him is because he's a Wisconsin native.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like I'm a homer at
Yeah.
heart. That's why I got excited about Georgia O'Keeffe on the K-Town Connects
Oh.
podcast.
Alrighty, next one. Who painted The Girl Before a Mirror and The Weeping Woman?
Oh, see, now I am going to be a fool because I do not know, never heard of either of these, so this is going to be a complete guess. The Girl Before the Mirror and...
I'll help you out a little.
Really?
Yes, I'll help you a lot.
Okay.
These are Cubist paintings. If
Okay.
you know Cubism, and
A little bit.
there's a little form of abstraction.
Okay.
So,
Then I'm going to guess Pablo Picasso.
yeah.
Really? Oh, see, but this is not fair. I would not have guessed that. I will just put that on the record. I was going to go like Van Gogh or Rembrandt or something like that. So thank you, Shelby, for...
Oh, you're
humoring me.
welcome.
We're not keeping score, by the way.
No, we're
If-
just going back for it.
If you wish, we would have kept score. Tell us, and then on Just Us 3, we will.
Ooh.
All right. Next question. Which French art movement of the late 19th century is characterized by evoking emotion rather than realism?
That would be the Expressionists or Expressionism.
No,
It is not. What is it called?
not according to whatever website we're on. They say Post-Impressionism.
Oh, well,
This is the easy category.
I'm dumb. It's been a while.
I would never have gotten
Yeah.
that, just for the record.
Well, I think
Late
Expressionism
19th century. Maybe that was the clue, was like
I
the
think
time period or something.
Expressionism came after Impressionism, so it was kind of that gap.
They could be
The
closely
post,
related.
post-Impressionism, I believe. Either way,
Either way, moving on.
yes. Oh, I don't even know.
Oh boy.
That's probably. I'm gonna look at the answer and just be like, oh, duh.
Good thing we didn't do hard art
Yeah.
trivia.
Should have done the kids. Which French artist is most famous for his obsession with ballerinas?
At first I was like, oh, I know this, but now I'm like second guessing myself. My first thought was Toulouse-Lautrec. No.
No.
Oh, boy, because he did like the dancing girls, but that's more like
Ye-
Moulin Rouge kind
Yeah,
of like dancing.
French, if that kind of helps lead
Oh,
you.
well,
Okay.
Toulouse-Lautrec was French.
True.
I'll just say another French one. Matisse,
No.
Monet.
No.
I give up.
It was Degas.
I would never have
It's
gotten that.
Edgar Degas.
Degas.
But here you go. I peeped at the next question.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
know this answer because I would not shut up about it.
This is funny. By the way, Degas, not how I would have thought it was spelled. There's an S. Next question. Which abstract expressionist was known for using the drip technique?
Wow, it's freaking Jackson Pollock.
Our buddy Jack.
Oh,
Drip,
that
son.
guy.
Quack that guy indeed.
Yes.
Okay, last one from the easy section.
Ooh. Okay, this artist is most famous for their close-up perspective paintings of flowers.
Flowers. Close-up perspective.
We talked about them earlier in this podcast.
This podcast?
Yeah. That
Jackson Pollock. No. What do we talk about?
we tried to spell their name on the podcast.
Oh! This is a big clue. Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yes.
That makes sense now. I was thinking of what's the guy that did the like his reflection in the like curved spoon or something like that. And then he did like the crazy stairs.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, my brain can't think of his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Why can't I? This is annoying. I cannot. Why can't I think of his name?
I'm gonna have to Google
I'm gonna be
crazy
so-
stairs artist.
Oh my goodness, I feel so dumb right now. I know it's Joseph's favorite artist though. Frick.
Escher.
That's
MC Escher.
MC Escher.
That's it. That's who I was
I
thinking
was
of.
about to say he sounds like he has like a '90s rapper name.
Yeah, because his MC.
Yeah, MC.
What do you think his real first name was?
Miller.
Wait, it doesn't say. It just says MC. Come on, Wikipedia.
That's all you get.
Dutch. Oh, because I clicked on the name of the piece. Moritz Cornelius Escher.
Oh, how did I not get that?
He's Dutch. Maurits.
Ah,
Interesting. I'm a fan.
yeah, definitely.
But no, it was Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yes.
I got to get back to the trivia. What category do you want to do now? Kids?
I don't know.
Or famous art trivia? That sounds easy,
Yes,
right?
let's do famous.
All right. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
You sure?
Oh God, is it bad?
I don't think you'll get it because I don't think I even know.
Oh no.
Which town in Italy was Leonardo da Vinci born?
Venice.
No.
Oh well, his museum's in Venice, so I thought.
You want to know?
Sure, tell me.
The village of Vinci, which is near Florence. So I would have accepted Florence. So it's Tuscany area, I believe, if I know Italian geography enough.
Well, when I was in Italy, I believe his.
Venice is the one with the canals.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're thinking of the right place.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's where his museum was. I only knew because I had to buy a pair of pants. Oh, this is hilarious when I was abroad. So, being a larger woman, your legs rub together and it gets annoying.
Men too.
Yeah, it gets chafed. And it was a hot, sweaty day, and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm in a dress. I need pants. And we stopped by this little, there was like a market, and I'm like, something with pants. I need pants. I'm dying. I've got the whole rest of the day. It's like noon to travel and go around. And I found these little pair of pants that was the statue of David and his junk.
Oh, no.
And that was the only pair
Oh,
of pants
no.
I could find. So
Oh, boy.
I'm running around Italy in a longer dress, but I've got pants of his junk on me.
Oh.
And it was just funny. I got back to, maybe it was in Florence.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
my goodness.
Wow. Mind break. We went there.
I swore.
Well, I was going to say,
It's a blur.
David isn't even Da Vinci. That's Michelangelo.
I know, but they sell just all throughout Italy
Yeah.
is all David stuff.
They're like the patron artists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same with Da Vinci. That's what I was going to say. He could have multiple.
Oh yeah,
museums,
definitely.
You know.
But I swore it was in Venice, but it could have been in Florence. It was. Trust me, that trip was a blur. But when I got back to the hotel area, I ran up to One of my friends, Brenna, she was on the podcast. I ran up to Brenna and I pulled up my dress and flashed her, and it was
boy.
just the pants of the David junk. And oh my gosh, I kept cracking people up because I just run up and just be whoop.
We know Brenna has a fascination with David.
Yes, so
Listen back to the Brenna episode.
she's
hear
like,
more.
is his butt on the back too? And I'm just like, I don't think so.
Oh,
It was
missed opportunity.
It was a very vague, but
Okay.
sorry, that was a side note, and
That was great.
so yeah. I know this.
Well,
Dang
this is
it.
me. You're asking
I
me.
know. So Vincent van Gogh had an older brother who died at birth. What was his name?
Oh my gosh. Come on.
I know this.
I went to the interpretive Van Gogh exhibit down in Chicago. I did the Chicago one. And I feel like he wrote letters to his brother, but that was probably the one that was alive. Unless he was like,
Yes, that was the one that was alive.
yeah, he would always write brother letters.
He had an older brother who died at birth.
older brother that died at birth. No idea. I'm gonna guess. Well, let's see. They were what? Dutch? No, was he French? I think he was, something like that. We'll go. Randy. Randy. Famous French name.
Yeah, Randy.
Or Dutch.
It was Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah.
He just got his older dead brother's name.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It's sad.
You're setting him up for mental anguish at this point.
Yeah,
You're
it's
named
getting rough.
after a dead person. Oh.
It's up to you if you want to do one more.
Are
or
we
what-
running low on time? We'll do one more
Okay,
and then
gotcha.
we'll call it.
I don't know the answer to that. next
Should
one.
I skip that one and do a random one?
Sure.
Random one. Okay.
Flip through some random because I know it's a running list.
This one sounds funny. This one
Okay.
sounds funny.
Go for it.
Which Renaissance artist is the most famous procrastinator of all time?
Michelangelo?
No.
Who is it?
The man from Vinci himself, Leonardo. That doesn't give an explanation, but
Why? Why was he?
why are any of us procrastinators? I know I'm a pretty big procrastinator.
I am too.
But not that famous. So.
I just know he liked to spend a lot of time drawing dead bodies at the morgue. So.
I mean, I think of like his Vitruvian Man.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a dead body?
I don't know if that one was, but yeah, he looked at a lot of cadavers and like anatomical structures and did a lot of studies of him, like looking at the human body because a lot of people didn't know about the human body at that time.
You know
So.
more about Da Vinci than me. Well, I know that he had a code.
He had a code?
The Da Vinci Code.
Oh, God.
Are you not
damn it.
aware? It was something with the Last Supper. There was a V. And
I thought you meant like a moral code or something. I was like,
Vinci
what do
Code.
you mean?
very famous book when I was in high school.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I definitely mixed that movie up with National Treasure
Oh,
because I
no.
almost said like it was on the back of the Declaration of Independence
Yeah. Nick Cage.
/ Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Oh boy.
On that
Yeah.
note.
All right, I think that about wraps it up for this podcast. But you can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, and next week we're going to have a real live artist here to talk to.
Yes,
It's going to be a blast.
and not us bumbling idiots trying to make
Yes.
it through it.
But I had fun. so-
Yes, I had fun too. But so you can find us wherever you get your podcasts: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever. Our very own YouTube channel, and on those platforms wherever you're at, if you can give us a like, a review, anything, depending on the rating system of the platform you're on.
Yeah.
Give us a like, follow, subscribe, and you can find us on social media: Facebook at the ArtSpace Podcast, Instagram at the ArtSpace Pod, and yeah. So just give us a like, give us a follow, show some support and love for the pod.
Please do. And we want to take the opportunity to thank some of the people that have helped us. Like,
Definitely.
Would You Kindly, that did our awesome theme song.
Mhm.
We mentioned K-Town Connects podcast that had us on to help promote our podcast.
Definitely.
Our cover artist.
Yes. April, I'm awful because I don't
I want
know.
to say Szafranski.
Yes, I think that's how you say
April S. The wonderful artist that did our cover art.
it. Yes.
And so many others, all of our guests that we've had.
Oh yeah, definitely. All the friends that have supported us along the way.
The folks here at Lemon Street that let us like record here.
So yeah, shout out to all the people that are making this happen. We couldn't do it without you and your lovely supporters, because we did hit a milestone. We had 200 followers on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, woohoo!
So, yay! Thank you to everyone who has been following our journey, and we plan on keeping on.
We're gonna keep on.
Yes, definitely.
We're gonna take lemons and make lemonade.
We're gonna show them in a printing press.
And we're gonna teach Amanda to fish.
Yes. Alrighty, and that wraps it up for this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Depression, addiction, the thrill that you seek. Our restlessness cages the fire